It's that time of year again. Time for performance reviews. Have you thought about your performance for the year yet? No? Guess what? That is what performance reviews are meant to help you with. This allows you the time to really reflect on the past year's productivity and your own personal development. This video will walk you through the areas you should reflect on, what to expect from your review, and a step-by-step process for completing your review within Paylocity. Let's first focus on what a performance review is. A performance review is meant to promote communication between team members and their supervisor. Its intention is to provide useful feedback about job performance and to contribute to the team members' professional development. Our goal as a company is to be productive in creating a wonderful community for our residents, as well as successful in helping property owners in accomplishing their investment goals. These goals cannot be met by one individual, but requires each team member's dedication and daily positive job performance. We need to look to use these performance reviews as well as weekly and monthly team goals to help us accomplish our company goals. Now, let's discuss the do's and don'ts in annual performance reviews. First, the do's. It's important to understand that you and your team leader will have an open conversation about your job performance. This is a perfect opportunity to open up the lines of communication for your personal development and the role you play in the company's success. Make sure that you are evaluating your results and accomplishments for this current past year. Any prior year performance activity is not relevant. The results and accomplishments you discuss and rate should be factual and detailed, meaning they are based off of documented activity and proven goal metrics. If the sentence begins with, "I think I remember," "I felt," or "he or she said," then it is likely not a documented or proven goal and should not be included in this review. Think of all the great things you accomplished, as well as areas you wish you had done better in. Remember, this is an opportunity to reflect on the gaps in performance that you intend to fill in for the next year to make your performance even better. Be aware and mindful of your phrasing and language. Phrasing and language that is not positive or is accusatory is not helpful to a performance review. Now the don'ts. Do not think of your review as a contributor to your annual compensation review. These two reviews are intentionally separate. We do not look at performance reviews when considering compensation. Don't avoid a necessary conversation with your team leader, even if it's a difficult conversation to have. This annual reflection on performance is to develop your skills as a team member as well as for your supervisor to develop their skills as a leader. Progress cannot happen unless communication is open and honest. When being honest and open, we all must take ownership for the role we play in each situation, both negative and positive. Be certain to think about how both you and your leader can grow from your reflections on the past year's performance. Do not discuss your review with other team members. This conversation is just meant to take place between you and your team lead. Finally, do not waste the opportunity to improve by only focusing on all of your awesome accomplishments for the year. Now, if you were with Valiant in years past, you may recall how performance reviews were completed. On paper, yikes! Can this be a little bit more modern and easier to complete? Ask and you shall receive. Performance reviews will be completed in Paylocity. The following will take you step by step through the performance review process in Paylocity. Don't worry, completing your review will be a breeze. Your first step is to log in to your Paylocity account. Once logged in, hover over the Web Time option in the top left-hand corner and select Self-Service Portal. This will take you to the WebPay home screen. The ribbon located at the top of your WebPay home screen will display several options. Select the Talent option and then click My Performance. You will see a section titled Performance Reviews. In the options below, find the present year's review assigned for you to complete. Select the View option to open your review. The review consists of 3 sections to complete. The first section, Part 1, Area of Focus, is portioned out to provide an opportunity to review different aspects of your current performance. For example, quality of work, initiative, attendance, etc. Within each section, you will choose a rating and provide a comment to support the rating you have designated for that section. Ratings are 1. Unsatisfactory, 2. Needs improvement, 3. Good, 4. Very good, and 5. Outstanding. Most sections will fall into the middle category, 3. Good. This is not a bad rating. It designates that you understand and complete your work, but there's an opportunity to further improve, which is the case for most team members. To begin rating, consider the area of performance listed that requires consideration. In this case, job knowledge. I must consider the explanation listed, understand duties and responsibilities, possess necessary job knowledge and technical skills, maintains job knowledge current. I believe that I do understand my job duties and responsibilities and select the most common rating, which is 3, good. After making my selection in the ratings box, I now need to provide a comment to support the rating I've provided. My comment to support that rating is that I have some areas which can be improved upon. I would like to learn more about the financial aspects of my position. I do complete and understand my work and duties in a timely manner and with little error. Each section will require this same process of assigning a rating and providing a supporting comment. It is important to understand the other ratings and what comments would support those ratings. Let's find an area in which a 1 unsatisfactory rating would apply. For instance, this past year, I had an incident which had to be reported. As this reflects negatively and can affect performance for the property, I know that this was not reflecting my best performance. I will rate myself as unsatisfactory, and my comment will read, I did not complete a full year to the standards for safety without incident. This is a factual statement. The reason I did not reach that goal is because I was not wearing proper footwear to work, and it caused a slip and fall. I will be setting a goal for myself to work towards a much better year for safety by taking ownership of my role in being safe. This comment provides the fact of which happened, the result. I displayed ownership of the role I played in this situation and provided a comment as to how I will improve in the next year. Double check for any spelling errors within each section of comments. As you review each comment, please make sure it is meeting all of the necessary explanations as to how it supports the rating you've provided. Next, let's focus on the rating of 2, needs improvement. The area in which I feel I met expectation, but I could have done better, and I want to make sure I note that I plan to work towards this as a goal in the next year, is my personal appearance. My supporting comment reflects that I met the policy for neatness and personal hygiene, but that I would like to strive to arrive every day to work as if I were interviewing for the position. I have some improvements that can be made, such as not wearing my hair in a bun more than 1 day per week. This is something I hope to work on in the coming year. Again, I'm taking the opportunity to reflect on the gaps in which I can fill in, which I control, that will end in meeting company goals. This area will be a great opportunity for a personal goal. Goals will be another area we discuss later in our video. I should make a note of this comment to include in my goals to set for the next year. If you had set goals from the past year, perhaps you accomplished that goal by going above and beyond. This would be a great opportunity to rate above the more common rating of 3, good. For example, I focused on decision making or problem solving this last year. I needed to focus on not going to my supervisor with problems as I wanted to display that I can be a leader and solve team problems myself. We wrote out goals that I would have a solution in mind before coming to my supervisor, and this would help me reach my goal for decision making and problem solving. I met this goal for the year, and therefore my rating for this section is 4, very good, because I have a metric to use as there was a documented goal in which I went above and beyond to meet. My comment in this case is factual and detailed to support this high rating. This contributed to the overall team goal as it helped my team lead to complete their tasks and therefore assisted with overall team productivity. It is important that ratings above 3, good, have a clear metric or detail that can support that high rating. Go through each section and complete the appropriate rating and comment. All ratings will require a comment. Any section without a comment will be returned to you by your team lead. Once each selection is completed, you will see the Next button in the bottom right corner. This will take you to the next section, which is Additional Notes. This is a section for any performance improvement plan comments. If you do not presently have a performance improvement plan in place, please select 3, good as a rating and make the next selection in the bottom right-hand corner. If a performance improvement plan has been developed for you, a comment and rating will be required and should be discussed with your supervisor. The last and final step in your review is to look over the summary for your review. Make sure that all information is correct. All looks correct to me, so I will select Complete. In the top right-hand corner, I can see that my review has been submitted and is ready for my team lead to go over to provide their own ratings and comments in response to mine. I can also review the performance homepage to determine that my review is still in process. The section for goals and journal entries will be completed in Paylocity for this next year as well. These sections will be completed during the one-on-one that your team lead will have with you after completing your performance review. Each section is easy to complete. The Goals section will allow your team lead to add new goals for the next year. These goals will be titled and provide a description as to what is needed to meet said goals. A start date will be provided as well as an end date. The end date will be determined based upon type of goal set. Some examples would be by end of month for monthly goals, end of quarter, or end of year. Goals are categorized as well. Once created, they will be saved and utilized during next year's review. Journal entries are for either you or your team lead to create. This allows for entries in which you could highlight a note for an accomplishment you've achieved, or a really positive resident email or comment that was given. Journal entries can be made about another team member and can also have additional contributors. Entries can be shared with the individual which the entry is about, or only visible to the individual writing it. Notes should be detailed for each entry. These are very helpful for your performance reviews each year as they provide the documentation that is necessary for performance reviews. The final step will be to have a one-on-one with your team lead for an open dialogue about your review. We look forward to completing this year's reviews as well as the future reviews for all Valiant team members. Thank you for joining, and feel free to reach out to corporate support with any further questions or concerns. Happy reviewing!